Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the 19th hole. We are live on In Between Media. We are sports, we're lifestyle, and everything in between. Make sure you like this video, subscribe to the whole channel, and jingle that bell for notifications. Because when we go live, we're doing it right at In Between Media. We have reached the final tournament on the PGA Tour season 2025. It is the Tour Championship at East Lake Country Club in Atlanta, Hotlanta, Georgia. We got Georgia on our mind. We got Scottie on the mind. Let's kick it. Are you ready? I'm ready. Let's hit that drop that I can't find because, of course, I can't. Oh, Conor. It's the end of a season. It's the end of all the golf, really, until the Ryder Cup next month. And it hasn't been that much downfall. Like, we have had a great season. Like, this show has absolutely killed it. And everybody who's... Right. We've been doing this for years now. At the top of everybody's game. At the top of our fields. Outstanding in our fields of grain. Amber waves of grain. It's been awesome. This has been a great season. We've hit so many outrights. We can't even count them. I didn't even go back and see how many we hit. It was quite a few. I think we hit like 7 weeks in a row in the middle of the season. That's pretty good.
That was a good run. Thank God for that.
Quite a run. Yeah. I think I was like 5 or 6 of them, but I mean, who's counting? I wasn't counting.
I just watched my bank account. Just keep going.
Bankroll was bursting, and it's been awesome. But we've reached the Tour Championship. It's the culmination of the season. We got rid of those pesky starting strokes finally. The stupidest idea anybody's ever had. I can't believe they kept it going that long. I still think the Tour Championship should be a 24-man match play bracket. Something like that. That would be amazing. Why can't we do that? Or a 32-man match play bracket would be amazing. Why can't we do that?
Well, I think you and I talk about this every year at the Tour Championship since they implemented that stupid stroke lead deal.
This is at least something decent.
Yeah, but then it begs the question. Like, I understand you're cutting down for the first 2 weeks of the playoffs, but it just doesn't feel like. It begs the question. Like, Rory took a week off. There's guys. Scottie probably could have taken 2 weeks off and been just fine, And so, like,
Straka took last week off.
Yeah. So I don't know. They got to figure out something different because this, taking the strokes away, I think de-incentivizes playing all 3 tournaments. But having the strokes there is just kind of really diminishes the amplitude of the final Tour Championship. So.
Yeah, the last thing they want is for the wrap up, the culmination of the whole season to be anticlimactic. And that was the definition of anticlimactic with the starting strokes. You're giving Scottie Scheffler a 2-shot lead over everybody else and a 10-shot lead over most of the field. That they got none chance of winning that money. No, now at least it's fair. The golf course is fair. It's a stern test. We're going to get with that. Before we hit the drop into the news, what are you drinking tonight, Conor? It's the Tour Championship.
Oh, so we break out this guy at least once a season. I don't think I brought him out this year yet. So
we have not.
The Buffalo Trace single barrel, which I pretty much finished.
Yep.
And then I'll be switching over to a little of the old standby.
OF. Yeah, well, in fine form, I am drinking a NorCal distillery product. This is Alley 6 Rye from Healdsburg, California in the Napa Valley. Absolutely stunning, delicious rye. Probably the best rye I've ever had. And you can only get it right there. Alley 6 in Healdsburg.
It's very Donald Trump.
You can only get it at Hillsburg at the distillery, which is in a dark, dank warehouse in little tiny old-fashioned town.
It's the best rye. Everyone.
It's the best rye. Everybody knows. You know it. I know it. We all know it. It's the best
Everyone
rye.
is saying it.
And as far as whiskeys go, it's just really tasty.
And I got my 2 standbys. Buffalo Trace, not hard to find, not crazy impressive, but reasonably priced. Solid every time.
Delicious. All right. News Niblick coming right up. Let's talk about the world of golf. Some guy named Scottie won again. It's ridiculous. Yeah. Look at that beaming smile. It was Bobby Mack's tournament. Bob McIntyre was winning this tournament from the jump. Gets to Sunday, 4-shot lead in the final pairing with Scottie Scheffler. And that 4-shot lead by the 5th hole was completely gonzo. Terrible start to the day. And then once Scottie gets a lead, that's it. It's curtains. That is au fait. It is done. You can chalk it up. Well, he made it interesting. Scottie was not as sharp on approach on the back nine as he was his entire life. But he gets to 17, hits a bad approach shot, long left into some deep rough, straight downhill to the pond for his chip shot with a pretty bad lie. And up and down, if he can't get up and down, we're looking at a tie ball game and everybody's back in play. Not only did he up and down, he went up and in from 80 feet, 82 feet. So 30 plus yards, chip, basically just hit a little flopper onto the fringe and the slope of that green going directly away from him. Trickled it in dead center, a la Tiger in 09 on the hole 16. Unreal. Goes from maybe we have a whole new ball game with 1 hole to play, we might be looking at a playoff situation, to he's up by 2 and that's it. Bye-bye. Sayonara. See you later. Thank you for coming. Drive home safely. What is your take on this machine we call a human, Scottie Scheffler, winning again?
Yeah, riveting golf.
It is, though. This guy's this is the most difficult game of skill in the world, and he is among other amazingly skilled players making this game look ridiculously easy.
He's also making it look like watching paint dry sometimes too, though. That chip you're just talking about is an amazing shot, high pressure situation, and you got a moderate little fist bump, a little smirk, and then just a casual walk over to get the ball out of the cup. Like that's just a standard shot that everybody makes in that situation. And just I don't know, man. I gotta be honest. I know this is a very unpopular take amongst the rest of the world, but I don't know. I find Scottie to be incredibly boring. Like I just don't.
I couldn't care less about his personality or how hyped up he gets for hitting these ridiculous shots, but I think he's simply acting like he's been there before, because he really has. That's his 5th win of the season, first ever win without Ted Scott on the bag. Ted attending to a family matter again. He has Chris Kirk's caddy on the bag, and what a nice day at the office. You show up for 4 days with the best player in the world, and if you count 10% of a caddy's take being the winner's take is 10% by standard, 8 to 10 depends on who it is and what it is. I guarantee this guy made 6 figures for 4 days on the bag for Scottie. He did a really good job. Like, you could tell Scottie was more comfortable. He had the chaplain of the PGA Tour on his bag the last couple of days last week and didn't pan out. But he's got this Chromie guy on the bag for the BMW, and he just looks like business as usual. This guy's just too good. But how about making $360,000 in 4 days when he probably didn't make that the whole season with Chris Kirk? I mean, Kirk had a really good year, made it to the first round of the playoffs, but that's a big check.
Yeah, definitely. Scottie, I mean, and look, my opinion on Scottie's personality and et cetera on the course aside, like you can't take anything away from him. I mean, he's an incredible golfer, continues to demonstrate that. I think had it not been for the crazy run he's been on, I think the last 8 starts, I mean, he really has done the only thing possible to overshadow what Rory McIlroy has been able to achieve this year. So I mean, you can't take anything away from Scottie.
Yeah. Well, on the other side of the coin is the Live Tour wrapped up at Indianapolis last week, and that means that their new relegation system was put into place. 0 tolerance, bottom 6 in the points get relegated to something else like Asian mini tours or Q School to requalify for the Live Tour. Notable names left off of Live next year are Henrik Stenson, a major winner, and Anthony Kim, who had a nice Linsanity run a few years back on the PGA Tour. Obviously had his substance abuse problems, made a really awesome comeback to make it on Live and make some money. He didn't score any points this year. So unfortunately, he and Henrik Stenson and a couple of Mito Pereira on that list, who was great a couple of years ago until he defected to Live. Those 3 guys and 3 others were relegated off Live Tour. So, I mean, that's the nature of sport. This is a competitive professional sport. And if you're not going to make the minimum requirements, you got to go back down and try it again. What do you think?
And I think there's a few interesting things there. Like, so Liv hasn't been incredibly forthright with the difference in stroke finish between Henrik and Ian Poulter, which I thought was interesting.
Very interesting.
And so I would love to see somebody who's gifted with math and the Liv overall season points dissect that one a little bit more.
I don't think their points are very accurate because we had 5-time winner Joaquin Neiman lose the points championship to 0-time winner John Rahm. That should tell you everything you need to know about how their points work. I think they need to overhaul.
Yeah, I was going to come full circle to the Rahm bit because I got some feelings on that too.
Mm-hmm. But let it rip.
You know, I think with Anthony Kim, it's probably the most disappointing one, and not because he did anything to help his own cause, but just because it was such a you wanted to see Anthony Kim succeed. Like,
absolutely,
it's such a comeback story. I mean, the guy has had an incredibly tough go,
really tough road.
And if you don't follow him on social media, he has 2 accounts, and one of them is dedicated to his like recovery and staying clean and sober, and just a very like down to earth, genuine guy who's
so much fun to watch in his prime. When he was playing, he was electric.
And I think, you know, I'm hoping that he finds it again. Like, you look at some of what he was able to accomplish in spurts this year. I mean, it's not like the guy didn't have. I mean, I think he had 2 or 3 rounds over this season that were, you know, in 8 under rounds. You know, 6, 7, 8 under, which is a pretty darn good round.
Yeah.
But, you know, unfortunately, he just had a lot more rounds where, you know,
80, 85,
11 over in Indy. I mean, that's just, you can't.
Even in 3 rounds, that's bad.
He did make a social media post, though, over the weekend that he's got some exciting news on what his next steps are. So, you know, I don't know if that's something like he ends up in the TGL. I don't know if that means he's gonna, you know, go tour around the Asian tour. I don't know what that looks like for Anthony, but I'm excited. And I hope he keeps on the path he's on. I think he's got a lot of good golf left in him. So that one was sad to see.
You know, and I kind of changed my mind last minute here, but I was going to talk about the Ryder Cup team getting its top 6 candidates locked in. Instead, I'm going to talk about Mason Howell winning the U.S. Amateur, 18 years young, absolutely brutish lefty. Goes by the Moose. I mean, who doesn't love the Moose winning the U.S. Amateur? Big, tall, strong kid with a feathery touch around the greens, made all sorts of crazy putts. His approach game was wild. This guy went through all of those rounds in a 36-hole championship match on Sunday to win. Mason Howell, get your flowers, kid. 18 years old. Only the 4th U.S. Amateur champion to be 18 years old or younger. One of them happens to be Tiger Woods. The other, Ben On. I can't remember the other one, but yeah, Ben On, Tiger Woods, Mason Howell. Pretty impressive kid.
Youngest one in the last 15 years.
Yep. Ben On was just a couple weeks shy of his 18th birthday. He's still the youngest champion ever.
It still pops up from time to time. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see how Mason Howell comes along. Everything you just said is pretty accurate depiction of the player he is. So
the Moose, baby, the Moose.
And if nothing else, that'll just be fun.
We're wearing antlers to the tournaments. When he turns pro, we're wearing antlers.
But should we touch on the Ryder Cup?
Yeah. Harris English, I have no idea how he scored enough points to make an automatic qualifying team. It makes no sense to me.
He plays on the PGA with the live point structure. That's how that happened.
Apparently. I have no idea. Harris English, did he win a tournament this year?
He did win.
Oh, that's why. Other than that, really bad season. But the win was a huge vault into that point structure. Unfortunately, for the rest of the field, there's a lot of prior Ryder Cup competitors that are going to be captain's picks. So there might be two wild cards that Keegan Bradley has to choose from. One of them is whether or not he wants to play as well as captain. That was pretty much a foregone conclusion a month ago when he was playing great. But since he's cooled off, maybe some of the dialogue around playing captain Keegan Bradley is cooled off as well. The team has a lot of deep options. There's Akshay Bhatia. There's all sorts of guys, top, bottom, young, old, that can make this team and at least give us a chance against Europe. However, Europe's team goes 10 deep with superstar athletes in this game. So what does Keegan Bradley need to do to make this a competitive Ryder Cup at Bethpage Black?
To me, it does matter. Getting back to some of the personality stuff, like you got Scottie,
need fiery competitors.
Scottie, JJ, Xander, Henley, English. Thankfully, you have DeChambeau.
Bryson is going to be the fire for everyone, apparently.
I mean, I've seen Xander get it going in match play, so I know it's in there. But
Xander's playing so bad right now. God,
and I think that's the problem. And then, some of these guys in the 7 to 10 range, I mean, it just doesn't get a whole lot better. I mean, Morikawa, JT, love JT in match play, love the energy, love the vibes. But
I think those two guys are locked in as captain's picks. I'm afraid that no matter how bad they're playing, Coughlin and JT are locked in as captain's picks. I don't think there's any way they don't pick him. Those two guys.
Then you look at what rounds out the rest of the top 15, and it's just, I mean, it's not great. I mean, in my honest opinion, in the top 15 right now, I'd be looking at like somebody like Novak or somebody that's just like fast and like
and fiery
and fiery. Yeah. Because like Brian Harman,
Cantlay. Akshay is intriguing because he does have some firepower, especially as a player. I mean, he's not the most personality-driven guy, but he's exciting to watch.
Wyndham Clark, if he can not vandalize the entire clubhouse or property, I guess would be.
I don't want him on the team. I was mad that he made the Olympic team of all things.
But yeah, I think I honest to God, I think we're in a bad spot. I think the Euro
Cam Young could provide some fire.
God, just look at the Euro team and then look at the guys that are on the bubble. I mean,
they could make two Ryder Cup teams that could beat us.
It's just, I mean, yeah, this is unfortunately, I think, going to be tough sledding for us this year. Like
Sam Burns, we need you, buddy.
Yeah. We gotta figure something out.
Maverick McNeely, shout out NorCal. We get some NorCal guys, Kurt Kitayama and Mav McNeely. I know they got fire.
And I do think, I mean, a little bit in contrast to what you said, I do think Keegan ends up playing, and so I mean, I think. I don't know.
Ben Griffin. We're going to talk about Ben Griffin later on the show, but Ben Griffin is the kind of guy who's not exactly fiery unless you're talking about ingesting too much creatine. Which that was one of the fun. That's one of the coolest stories. Takes too much creatine before his round starts. He's all bloated and wishy-washy, probably sloshing around with all the excess water and fidgeting. His hands are shaking, can't focus. Triple bogeys, a 4-putt from 4 feet on the first hole, triple bogey. Second hole hits one in the penalty area, 2-stroke double bogey. Then he bogeys the third. So 3 holes, he's 6 over, and he still finished that round under par.
Well,
Six
didn't he go
over.
Didn't he go 7 under in the next 7?
Yeah.
Like, so wild.
He started 6 over through 3 and finished under par. That's Ben Griffin he has to be on the team.
He scored. I mean, anybody who's watched this show knows that you and I love Ben Griffin. I mean, going back to before people knew who he was and they were buying insurance from him or whatever he was selling before.
It was insurance.
You know, Bo and I both have policies through the guy.
Yeah.
But no, with Ben Griffin, I mean, he's endearing every single time he plays in a tournament. You listen to him recapping the creatine incident and the 4-putt, and it's
so
not
entertaining.
Me. He's just like,
yeah.
Yep,
he's like, this is what happened. Yeah, this is what happened. I felt like crap until I figured it out. He's like, he thought about withdrawing, and then he started feeling better.
Yeah, it's just a good story. I mean, and it's one of those. It's not an excuse. He's just like, yo, this is what happened, and yeah, I'm an idiot.
Yeah, you're right.
So yeah, I hope he finds a way onto the team, and yeah, I don't know. I'm not super pumped on our US squad, and I hope some of these young guns that we've been talking about all year that do have that fiery, gutsy play to them. I really hope they find their groove next Ryder Cup, and we get to see some young blood that's got a little fire, because I think this is going to be a little dull.
Yeah, hope we're wrong.
Hope we're wrong.
USA. Let's do, for one final time this season, wax poetic about a golf course. And Eastlake Country Club is a majestic golf course. And I know that Conor Coughlin is going to be riffing that poetry.
I'm not.
You are. Eastlake Country Club. Snap. Eastlake. Atlanta, Georgia. Snap. Let's hit it.
It's like a joke at this point.
Georgia.
I don't know if people know, but it literally is a joke. Like, I write like 4 sentences every week. So like, I think people are expecting this grand definition of what Eastlake is. So here it goes. Eastlake Country Club, Atlanta, Georgia, par 70, yardage 7450. Fairways are Bermuda, greens are Bermuda. Course. So course history is an incredibly sticky stat here. The tournament's been held here since 2004. Players that do well here tend to do well year after year. Length and accuracy can be a deadly combo, especially this season. They've widened some of the fairways at some of the longer distances off the tee. So there's even less penalty for really ripping the ball, kind of throwing caution to the wind. Long approaches will lead you into some pretty deceptively small greens. It's really, we talk about it a lot, but again, this is another second shot type of course. Your approach game really does have to be solid. You can mitigate that a little bit with some of the long ball hitters that are going to have short irons, wedges into these greens. And honestly, those are guys that I would be looking at pretty thoroughly this week, just given that these greens are tough to hit and hold size wise, speed wise. So definitely keep that in the back of your head. Greens have plenty of undulation to them, but year on year, we talk about this. Putting really has never been much of a make or break stat. You can't putt poorly here, but you don't need to have like a 9-stroke gain to win this tournament.
Nope.
Plenty of water, plenty of sand, as you would imagine on a full bag tester. Again, it's more about around the green play, less about putting. Definitely look to some of those long ball hitters. Focus on the accuracy. Focus on some of the approach buckets that we're going to talk about, and that really is the key to winning here. It's just consistent play, and in 4 days of it. That's all you got to do. There's a lot of different skill sets that have won here, so favoring the long ball hitter, but doesn't have to be.
Yeah, and I think there is some weather in the forecast all 4 days. Chance of rain, passing thunderstorms is going to be mid to high 80s, probably syrupy, humid, gross. But where the greens being more receptive from the rainfall is a good thing for scoring. Bermuda rough when it's wet is a nightmare. So if you're missing these fairways with some rain in the forecast, yes, you can score better from the fairway, but you're going to score way worse from off the fairway. So I will be counting scrambling a little bit heavier when you miss the fairway. If you miss the fairway, I want to see scrambling from off the fairway. And then, of course, scrambling in general is great. I only filtered putting for Bermuda surfaces because it's like you said, it's not a make or break. It's if you're neutral putting and you're great on approach, like certain guys have been all season, then this golf course it's not overly easy, but it's also not as difficult. It's not like a U.S. Open type venue. It's just a stern, fair test of golf. And you have to be accurate, and it does help to have some distance, but it's not exactly required either. With some of the fairways being wider, it just makes it easier on the rest of the 30 guys, the 29 other guys that aren't Scottie Scheffler. This golf course is made for Scottie Scheffler. Apparently, it's just like you just said, consistent off the tee, got some distance. Scottie's not a short hitter. He's not the longest hitter, but he's definitely not lacking in that department. He's the most accurate off the tee guy. He's the most accurate proximity on approach guy. And so, yeah, the other 29 with wider fairways, a little bit more of a bomber's advantage this year. You still got to find the fairways. You still got to find them. And to beat Scottie, you're going to have to bring your best because there's only 29 other guys that can beat this guy. No cut, no starting strokes. Thank goodness. Winner gets a cool 10 milli. Sounds good.
It's not bad. It's a nice payday.
10 to 15 under par is what I'm predicting. Ball strikers win here. It's a simple, can you hit it straight off the tee with some distance? Can you find these small, fast, nasty little Bermuda greens with all the grain and runoff and bunkers and water hazards that are firmly in play? If you're playing off the fairway, you're going to be struggling. You're going to be over par. If you're in the fairway, you can shoot a good 3 or 4 under each day and make it a tournament. It's strokes gained on approach, good drives gained, proximity from 150 to 200 plus, putting on Bermuda, scrambling off the fairway, and pray that Scottie doesn't have his best form this week because as we're going to get into at the club twirls, his odds are very short, and it's probably still worth it.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think the thing about this course, the final thing I'll say on it is it's not like it's a gettable course. It's not like it's a carnage-filled course. It's just a course you can't make mistakes on. If you play good, consistent golf all 4 days, you're gonna be competing come Sunday.
Absolutely. I just love it. It's the perfect course for wrapping up the season. We just hope that maybe that one day they'll go to the same format as the U.S. Amateur, where it's just a nice match play bracket with a 36-hole championship. That's what I want. At East Lake, wouldn't that be great? A 36-hole match play championship, the best two facing off at East Lake. That would be so amazing.
God, you want to draw fans in, get brackets going. People love that stuff.
Oh man, the betting is so much fun. It's right like March. It's opposites end of the year from March Madness. It's like just make it happen. We lost the Accenture match play, and I'm still mad about it.
Bo, it just goes to prove to everybody that you and I are the two smartest guys in the room. I mean, we see it clear as day. So,
yeah, make it happen, PGA. All right, let's say for one final time this season, let's twirl some clubs, Connor.
Or not.
All right, top of the board. Scottie Scheffler. He's down to plus 150 on some books, but I got him at plus 180. Here's the deal. Yes, all season I've been telling you to live bet Scottie. Don't bet Scottie at plus 200, plus 250, plus 300. He's been around that number all year long. For good reason. He's won 5 times. He's still, if you bet $100 on Scottie all year long, you're still in the red. How is that possible? He's not paying you to win. He's paying himself to win. This week is different. There's only 30 men in the field. The golf course is rubber stamped, says Scottie Scheffler lives here. He wins here. No starting strokes. No, doesn't matter. Plus 180, you're getting positive odds. You're getting almost 2-1 odds for the best golfer on the planet to win at a golf course that was basically built for his game. Plus 180, I'm taking it. I'm taking it. It's Scottie Scheffler. It's low-hanging fruit to end the season with a win. Why not? No,
you get no argument from me. And even though
is it going to pay you a lot? No, but you're going to win.
Well, and even though I talk disparagingly about Scottie all the time,
you're an honest man.
I bet him. I bet him last week. Look, we're here to win money. The likelihood is that Scottie is somewhere in that top 5 come Sunday, and if he's in the top 5, as we witnessed last weekend, that's as good as Scottie knocking at the door. And it's a lot of pressure. I don't think it's the same, Tiger vibes that people got intimidated by. I don't think Scottie's got that type of edge to him. No. But I think people know that if Scottie's there, Scottie's not going to make a lot of mistakes, and so I think it puts pressure on him.
Scottie is kind of like he's like prime Mike Tyson, where he's like maybe the Tiger's Mike Tyson, where it's like you were scared to go up against him. Maybe Scottie is Evander Holyfield, who's just quiet, reverent. Like you just look at him, you're like, okay, cool. What do you got? Perfection is what you get. The dude just doesn't make mistakes. He does not beat himself. He is so technically incredible that he beats you just by the fact that he knows that you're going to make more mistakes than he will. He's so locked in. He's so automatic at this game that shouldn't be anywhere close to as easy and automatic as he makes it look. Plus 180, do it. Roll in the green. It's not a lot of bang for your buck, but it's the Tour Championship. There's only 29 guys to beat, and maybe 2 or 3 of them have it in the tank to beat him if he's not on. If he's on, it's curtains. It's already over. If he's not 100% on his game, there's a handful of guys that can beat him if they're on top of their game. That it for me. This is just take the money and run. Who else can beat him though? I know you're gonna stump for some guy named Rory from Northern Ireland, who I think mentally checked out weeks ago.
I think Rory's here, and I think Rory's going to play well, and I think he's going to compete for it. I don't know that he's in. Well, no, I do know. I know he's not in as good a form as Scottie is, so I think it's going to take a lot for Rory to get there at East Lake. But Rory does have good history here. Very good history here, including a win back in 2022, as you may recall. Also, I think what people maybe didn't notice is just, even though Rory hasn't been winning since the Masters, statistically, he's continued to do really well. The putting has continued to be on point. Even last week at the BMW, he gained 3.5 strokes putting. When you look at his off the tee game last week, same deal. 3.6 strokes gained off the tee. I already mentioned that bombers with accuracy, good off the tee guys, are going to have an edge here. That is one spot that Rory does edge out Scottie, in my opinion. I think where Rory has struggled recently has been on approach, and really, truly, it's been since the Masters. So I think everything hinges on what approach game we get out of Rory this week. I think if we get that approach game that we saw starting at the Players through the Masters, just ridiculous gains every single week on approach, which he is capable of.
He definitely is capable.
I, for one, as everyone knows, will never count Rory out. And again, almost double the odds of Scottie. Not even double.
Quadruple.
It's over quadruple the odds of Scottie. Plus 800 to me is another bet that I'm willing to make, because I do think it's one of these two guys. I think, and we're going to talk about this guy in a minute, because I talked about him this devastating choke artistry a few weeks ago. But I think Tommy Fleetwood might be the only other guy up here in the teens or lower that I would take a stab at.
And for the first time in 2.5, 3 years, I'm going to actually rubber stamp in my endorsement for a Tommy Fleetwood outright, because I don't think Rory has it. I think Rory's completely checked out. I think Rory, his mental game left months ago, and his physical game, I didn't see it last week. I didn't see the fire. He skipped the first week of the playoffs. He wasn't interested in taking anything down last week. He knew that he couldn't take down Scottie anyway. He played like trash last week, and that does not give me any confidence.
I wouldn't say 12th is trash. I just wouldn't say that he.
But how much did he lose by? He lost by a ton of strokes.
That's a fair.
Not even close. He was not even close to pushing for that win. He was not interested in winning. He knew by Friday he wasn't going to win. He wasn't even in range to beat Bobby Mack at that point in time. And for me, 8-1 is good odds for Rory McIlroy if he was playing well. He's not. This is a stat that scares me the most. So in his last 24 rounds, he's 24th in good drives gained. That's the strength of his game. I should be looking at a top 5 number on good drives gained for Rory McIlroy. Instead, he's in the bottom tier of this field. It's a good field, but that's terrible. And 15th on approach, that's not Rory McIlroy. That's not the same guy that we love. He's just ball striking is everywhere. His short game's been holding him together. His putting's been holding him together, but this guy's swing is out of whack. He's been recovering some bad ball striking the last month and a half. I think he's got it in the tank if he's mentally there, but I don't think he's mentally there. And so,
I think
I
think you hit the nail on the head. We know that about Rory. Going into Sunday, if Rory is not in contention, the foot is completely off the gas.
Done.
And so I don't look at that. I don't look at that as being a reflection of anything out of the norm for him. That's how he governs a tournament. When you look at post the Masters, I mean, 7th at the Truist, he kind of took a little 47th at PGA, missed a cut in Canada, but 19th at the US Open, not great for Rory, but still a good showing. 6th at the Travelers, 2nd at the Genesis, 7th at the Open, and the 12th last week, like I just said. I mean, you look at the off the tee metrics specifically, which is in kind of contrast to what you just said about his ranking with good drives gained. And you know that he takes his foot off the gas when he's out of contention.
Yeah.
I think Rory's right there, man. I don't think he's checked out. I think that he knows he's got to win this week in order to keep his name kind of in the hat for the player of the year type of status. Because if he doesn't win this week, Scottie wins on sheer volume. Everything that Rory accomplished historically is going to be a footnote to Scottie's multi-win season, and so I think Rory's going to come, and I think Rory's going to bring it. I really do.
I know Tommy Fleetwood's going to bring it. This is a golf course that favors accurate players. Tommy Fleetwood is incredibly accurate off the tee. He's number 1 in this field in strokes gained par 4, which is my most heavily weighted stat. He's number 1 in this field in bogey avoidance, my number 2 weighted stat. He's number 2 in good drives gained, number 4 stat. Number 3 in scrambling, number 6 in putting on Bermuda. Tommy Fleetwood, despite not being a very good birdie maker, is aces everywhere else. This golf course is Tommy Fleetwood's golf course. He's played well here in the past. And what is it going to take for him to win a PGA Tour event? Well, let's say $10 million at the finish line and only 29 guys to beat. He's been top 20 every single week this year. He's been top 5 the last 4 out of 5 weeks. Something's got to give. Tommy Fleetwood on a perfect golf course, very few competitors. Why not? It's the first time.
Something's got to give. Tommy's. Why not? I think you could insert.
If his first win is things. I know, but if it's his first win is at the Tour Championship, that whole argument of him being a choke artist is gone forever.
So I said 2 weeks ago that what I thought was that Tommy would continue to compete last week at the BMW and that we should expect fireworks this week. And I stand by that because
he was top 5 again last week, despite that course being a poor fit for him. He's still on such a roll.
And a bounce back from a devastating choke.
Oh, how to finish top 5 after getting your heart ripped out for the millionth time. That's a study in resilience from Tommy Fleetwood.
And I think those calluses that you're talking about with the resiliency, I truly, like when I said it 2 weeks ago, I truly believe that Scottie was going to keep rolling last week. Tommy was going to keep rolling last week, and he was going to come in here to East Lake, play the consistent style of golf he can. And I honestly think that if anybody wins this outside of Rory or Scottie, it's Tommy. I think Tommy gets it done, and that's probably one of my heaviest bets this week.
It wouldn't be a tour championship without you agreeing with me on something. I didn't think it'd be Tommy Fleetwood, but
we got to run back a bunch of clips for the season.
Yeah, we do. We're both on Ben Griffin at 35-1, but you have JJ Spawn, who I also like. I don't like 25-1, but I do like him in general. He's 6th in my model, top 10 and everything, but proximity on approach and putting. Great pick there. I can say JJ Spawn, if he slips to 30, I'm all over it. At 30, I'm actually going to take a shot at Sepp Straka, who came in 3rd in my model. Top half of the field in every single category. I don't seem to get him right, but this seems to be Bermuda course, not over 7,500 yards. He's really good off the tee. He's really good on his irons and approach, and his putting's been surprisingly good on Bermuda. His best surface, obviously. We saw him do that at the Honda or the Cognizant now a few years ago. This guy he's a gamer, and 30-1 is great odds for this field. I don't need you to explain JJ Spawn and Victor Hovland at 28-1. That's a really good number. A really good number for a guy with his expertise on this exact golf course. I think he's won here twice. He's been in the hunt pretty much every year, even when he's scuffling. Victor Hovland pretty much owns East Lake. He's the ball striker we need.
But more than owns it, he is clear of the next closest person by 5 total strokes gained over his starts at this golf course. He's gained 24 strokes in total over the course of playing here. Next closest is Justin Thomas, which is another guy that's a horse for the course. But
off the tee has been so bad that you're scared.
Yeah, but Hovland going back a few weeks, right around the Memorial, you and I were talking a lot about how I was starting to see signs of life in Hovland, and I started betting him back then. Haven't had the payday yet, but these are the type of situations where Hovland really pops up, courses that he's super comfortable on. And one thing that is really, really in his favor, over his last 5 starts, he's gaining 4.5 strokes on average on approach, which is super important here.
Wow.
And something that's very un-Hovland-like. He's actually gaining strokes off the tee over his last 5 starts as well, which is historically a place where Victor struggles. He recovers well, but he struggles. And when you look at this course in particular, for the way it sets up for Victor's ball flight and being a little bit wider in a lot of the spots, landing areas that are in his sweet spot, this sets up really, really well to see him continue to play well at this course. And, another thing going for it, I don't like Victor in birdie fest. I like Victor in mid-teens. I think this is mid-teens. I think this is a sweet spot for him.
Well, on Bermuda courses, Victor is number 3 in birdie or better percentage. So maybe there's something there too, where it's just like he's a grinder in most places, but for some reason his putter gets hot on Bermuda. He's very comfortable at this golf course, especially. He wanted the Valspar on Bermuda. This is the kind of course, the Valspar, like the Copperhead course, is very similar to East Lake. That's a straight up comp course. Makes a lot of sense. Let's let you take Ben Griffin again, because we completely agree. 35-1 is an insult to Ben Griffin in the season he's having. And let's just say he is top half of the field in every single category, top 5 in half of them, including putting on Bermuda, strokes gained par 4, bogey avoidance, scrambling. Just what is this guy doing at 35-1?
He's
making us money.
It's his finishes lately. If you look at it, miscut, 11th at the Wyndham, 9th at the St. Jude, 12th at the BMW. He's just not really competing. So I think he's priced appropriately, like to where his finishing positions have been. And I think the other thing that's been holding him back, and it's truly been the playoffs have been the first time pretty much the entire season that this has happened to Ben Griffin. Off the tee has been catastrophic for him. If you look at what he did at the BMW, he lost almost 3 strokes off the tee. Interestingly enough, even with that 4-putt baked in there, he still gained almost 2.5 strokes on putting.
The dude's short game is amazing.
And his approach game was nails last week too. Yep. Seriously, if you get those 3 strokes back off the tee, that outcome looks a heck of a lot different. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I think when you look at Ben Griffin on the season as a whole, he's played incredibly consistent golf. And to your point, Bo, he's green light in every category that you and I both looked at. Every possibility in the world that Ben Griffin is right there competing. He's very, very steadfast. Doesn't really care who he's paired with. Doesn't really care about the cameras and the glitz and the glam. So I think he's unaffected, and I think he's been playing great golf. So I like.
And now he knows how much creatine is too much.
Yeah, I mean, and he's got the creatine figured out, so we should be good.
He's got the shades. I got the shades. Kitayama got the shades. It works.
I'm tired of talking. You talk about the next one.
All right. Well, I was going to ask you about Akshay Bhatia at 50-1, but I'll jump in with my guy at 60-1. Kind of in the same vein as Colin Morikawa, where he's very accurate off the tee, very accurate on approach. Better short game than Morikawa. Maybe not the course history Morikawa has here, but streaky putter that can get hot. 60-1 for Shane Lowry seems weird. That's a really, really long odds for. He's been struggling. I get it. But this is a really class golfer who's going to want to be in good shape for the Ryder Cup. He's obviously going to be on the Ryder Cup team for Europe. 8th in scrambling, 8th in bogey avoidance, 13th on approach. Not exactly the birdie maker, but this is going to be more of a grinder tournament. Middle of the pack off the tee for good drives, but one of the more accurate players off the tee in the world. I just think that the odds are way off on Shane Lowry because he's way too good at this type of golf course to be that far down. No, you'd rather have Akshay at 10-1 odds less.
I would in this situation. I think I see what you're saying. Shane Lowry at that price seems out of place. It truly does.
That's all. That's the only reason I did it because he's kind of he's 17th in my model, middle of the pack. I just saw that and went, "That's crazy."
Well, and in mine, he's actually price reflective. I mean, it actually he rates out about in the spot he should. He's in the mid-20s in mine. But gosh, he's just all over the place. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
I like the number more than I like the form. I like the number more.
Oh yeah. For me, that's the same thing. I just saw the number and was like, that's insane. This guy can absolutely go out there and find something and make us all look really smart. Akshay, I totally get 50-1 for Akshay is insane because that dude can score with anybody.
Well, and I will say one thing I'll say about Lowry just quickly is the weather is going to be fairly conducive to Lowry. So it's probably not the worst idea to throw a couple bucks at it.
If it smells like rain, we're going Irish.
Yeah, I might have to think about that one a little more.
Yeah.
I like the number. I want the weather to be worse than it is, and I'd really like it.
Yeah, a passing thunderstorm isn't going to make it that much tougher.
With Akshay at 10 points less at 50-1, the big things I looked at with him, it's just been the overall approach game over the last 10 starts. It's been everything that you and I have always said it could be. It's creative, it's consistent,
and it's not just the short irons anymore. It's everything. He's top 5 in 200 plus, which is huge here. Number 10 in strokes gained par 4, 9th in birdie or better. He's hitting greens. He's 4th on general approach. That's so good.
I think
striker.
I'll say this. I think in the offseason, he needs to maybe consider like getting away from the broomstick or something. Like the putter's been awful all year. I think the putter's held him back pretty substantially.
Ironically, better than it ever has been either.
which is just a sad commentary. I mean,
27th in this field putting on Bermuda, and that's better than he's ever been.
So your hope is that Akshay makes up some strokes off the tee this week, given a little bit more forgiving landing areas. That is another struggle point for him. So this is like more of a feel play. But I really, you can't overlook that approach game. The approach game is just so good, and knowing that you're going to need the full bag.
It's important here. It's so important here.
I think that's what really turned me on to Akshay. And I think when he gets it going, man, he's very dangerous. So I think it's just a long number. It's not dissimilar from your Shane Lowry. I think I like the number more than maybe I like the form.
At least Shane's a bad putter, but a little bit better. He's 20th versus 27th.
Yeah, but I'll tell you, if Akshay brings that approach game this week,
it won't matter. Yeah, he's so good.
Yeah, so yeah, that's maybe more of my flyer for the week. I really don't like anybody below that, like not enough to bet anything serious on them.
I'm right. I'm with you on that. That's a lot as far as I'm going. I do think it's going to be Scottie Scheffler at 16 under.
I think it's Rory, and I think it's 14 under.
Okay.
But I think it's fittingly very close between him and Scottie. Maybe we get a playoff. Maybe.
Ooh, wouldn't that be nice? One versus two in a playoff. That would satisfy my match play needs, because that is match play once you're in a playoff.
How epic would that be?
Yes. All right, 1 minute left in the show for the final hat. Did you take all the higher numbers out?
I did, actually. I did remember to do that. Number 11.
Number 11. Oh, no.
I don't hate mine.
I don't hate mine. I just don't want to bet him.
Mine's on the Ryder Cup.
Mine might be on the Ryder Cup, and it would be a travesty if he is. Patrick Cantlay.
Russell Henley.
Yeah. Henley's a great pick on a Bermuda golf course. He's 5th in my model. We didn't talk about him because his odds were too short, but Russell Henley on this golf course, he's top 12 in every single category. He's a Bermuda specialist, and he's on the Ryder Cup. Patrick Cantlay, not yet on the Ryder Cup team, although I have a sneaking suspicion he'll be a captain's pick because of his experience. He's 11th in my model, despite being awful at scrambling, awful at avoiding bogeys, and awful at putting on Bermuda. He's pretty good everywhere else.
He's just awful in a lot of places, but he's pretty good.
All right. It's been great, guys. Conor, cheers.
Cheers, brother. Money for the last time this season, huh?
Hey, it's been great. Good luck, everybody. Win big. Catch you on the flip side.